well, look, they still want to add Alexander Isak for a British record fee. Andy, you know all about a British record fee at the time. You know, Newcastle to Liverpool, £35 million. Talk to me a little bit about that, because Newcastle is such a special club, and it means so much to the fans, to the people of the city of Newcastle, but also to the players. How was it for you when you found out, you know, this is it? I'm the guy. I'm going to one of the biggest clubs, you know, in the land. What were the emotions like?
For me personally, being from Newcastle, it was one of them things where I didn't really want to leave, didn't want to go, and it was a tough one when I did go. But for Isac, he's not from Newcastle, so he can do and act how he's acting now, and think it's acceptable. Where for me, I never acted any way I wanted to stay, and it's a big move for him. And the way he's playing his cards at the minute, the Newcastle fans are not going to back him, and he's not going to help himself, which is a shame really, because he's such a good player, and every Newcastle fan wants him to stay. Manager wants him to stay, and it's just a shame really. That's how he's acting.
100%. I mean, I've got to say, I'm fascinated by the fact that you know, I mean, I would imagine, as I say, if you're playing for any team, to be a British record fee and you're moving to another great club, surely you would be, you know, ecstatic by that. But you were sad about it. You didn't want to go. Yeah,
I think if I was at a club that it wasn't my home and looked up to and wanted to play for all my life,
at what point did you know like that it was happening? And you
well,
were
it was
like,
a transfer window the last day, and it was just like you're going, and that was it really. And it was something that it was really hard for me, to be honest. But this move here that he can take, it's not really the same as me, because it's not his club, you know. Yeah. I mean, the Geordies did take him in and made him one of our own, but when he wants to go, that's his mind's changed, you know.
Yeah, 100%. Well, Alexander Isak will not be in the squad for Newcastle's opening game of the season against Aston Villa. Eddie Howe gave this update on the striker's future today.
Is there a way back for him to play for Newcastle again on whenever it may be?
Yes, I believe there is. But of course, discussions and talks would have to take place in order for that to happen. I think all options and potential scenarios are open and available to Alex. I don't think any door is closed. Ultimately, it's going to depend on him. I've said many times during this summer, I want him to play, want him to train. And of course, I've had those conversations with him. But I think the details of those conversations need to remain private.
Do you still expect Alex to be a Newcastle player on September the 2nd?
Yeah, I at the moment I would, but I've got no change of feeling throughout the summer. It's not in my hands, but he's contracted to us, so that's why I say that.
I mean, it's interesting to see that, isn't it, really? I mean, it's kind of, the door's open for him to come back, but the big thing is, Carlton, does this move get done?
I think it does, you know.
You think it does?
I think it does. Newcastle fans are not going to want to hear that, but I understand they'll feel hard done by. But when you've got a player that doesn't want to be there or feels aggrieved over something that we probably don't know from the outside, there must have been other things going on. And for him to be training on his own, that, you know what that does for a player. A player's mind totally moves away from the club.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, listen, I mean, as I say, as a fan, what is that like? I mean, if there's players that are training on their own, like, when you talk about that, the mindset goes, what, you not feel part of the squad, you're not part of the team?
Yeah, because at the start, we thought he was training on his own because they'd gone, he had a little bit of an injury, he was training over in Spain, I think it was, to get fit, and then he comes back, and then obviously the hoo-ha about him, Liverpool coming in for him for a record fee. So I was thinking that he's going to go back and return with the team. But then that doesn't happen. Then you're thinking, ooh, there might be something else here. Yeah. And then whether it's Newcastle have told him, listen, go and cool off over there and train on your own and then come back with a better frame of mind. Or he's saying, I'm not training with you until you get rid of me. Or we'll go to the next page now because I'm done with you. That's something like that. Yeah. But we can only speculate, you know. And I find it very... awkward when we speculate and don't know the facts.
Yeah, of course.
Because we've been in that position when the story's been printed and it's totally different story. Yeah. So you have to understand. I think he's got to the point. Yeah, what has he promised? Yeah. Was he promised a new contract last season? Did that happen? I know there was a change of backroom staff and board, and I think it had something to do with that because he was promised something, and then when the new regime came in, it kind of changed. So he probably feels hard done by.
Absolutely. And look, Andy, you were there at the Carabao Cup celebrations when Newcastle. I saw you celebrating with the team as well.
Yeah. Was you there with the team?
I was up there.
Yeah,
Was
Never
you?
off the trophy.
I saw it. Yeah, but that's
You
it.
should have got your kit on. You gotta get your kit on.
All the kids with me, they loved it. It was brilliant.
But that's it. I mean, look, you know, you are a Newcastle fan. You know, you love that team, and I think if Alexander Isak, if he doesn't get that move, from a Newcastle fan perspective, how do you think they're going to feel about that? How long is that going to take to reintegrate into that side, going out there in St James's Park?
I think his first goal does it.
You think that's it, easy as that?
Work hard, run about the pitch. First goal, he'll get the fans back on side. And
So you think that's a possibility?
I think obviously, yeah. If he's staying and he plays, the fans will turn back and say thanks for staying, and thanks for a couple more goals for this.
Stays?
I don't think he does, but if the door's open for him and he doesn't get his move, and then he ends up staying for the season and
It has to happen.
scores a couple of goals, I think it's all back.
I love that. One goal does it.
One goal, does it? One goal.
It does.
Very good.
It changes a lot of things, one goal.